Good morning, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Just woke up this morning super exhausted, and I could barely feel my fingers from all the polishing we did the night before. That thing vibrates so much. I felt like I had arthritis in my hands. So to get the day started, we got some Rockstar right now. We need a kick, man. We need a pickup. And in today's video, what we're going to be doing is, check this out. So when I got the car, I only had one pair of keys on it. So we got another key, and these things have a chip inside of them. So you need it to be chipped and programmed in order to start the vehicle. You see this spare key right here? Nothing. Won't even start the vehicle. So what we're going to be doing on today's video is trying to program this spare key so it can start the vehicle. And then in case we ever get locked out, in case we ever need one, or the new owner needs one, they'll have that ready. So let's see, there's a few steps you have to take, which consists of putting the keys in the ignition, opening the doors and whatnot. I'll list those steps right there. We're gonna do those steps. Let's see if this key, because again, this key just goes in, can't even turn it. We'll see the progress we can make on that. Alright guys, so the process is quite simple. First, you gotta take your master key, insert it and remove it 5 times, and leave it in the ignition the 5th time. Then you have to open and close your door 6 times. Once you do that, you put your duplicate key in, and we're waiting for this security light 60 seconds to stop blinking. Once it stops blinking, you're gonna put your master key back in, start the car, turn it off, and then your spare key will work. Now the only issue is it's been over 60 seconds and this security light is still blinking, meaning that something is not being recognized. And I just found out that this key right here, the master key, you can see that little dot right there. Some of them also have different letters there, C, B, H, whatever it is, it signifies the kind of chip and whatnot that's in here. And I looked at the duplicate key, and clearly the security light is not coming on, and you can see that the duplicate key has no special dots, no special letters, which can indicate actually that this has no chip in it. It's just a duplicate key. So this will work for opening the doors. It won't start the ignition. Oh, see, look, I actually got it to this point here. Before I wasn't able to get it to that point, but look, when you try to start the car, all it does is crank, because again, let's see, the light's still on. The chip, it's probably like a ignition cutoff. And you see, now I won't be able to swap it in. Oh, no, I got it to wiggle. Takes some loving, but yeah, it's no good to start the car. So it's still good. I can get the car open if I need to, and if I do sell the car, 2 keys is always better than 1 in the seller's eyes. So right now, let's see what we're gonna do. We're gonna jack up the car. We're gonna mess around and try to figure out why this car is pulling to the left still. So we can do a few things. We can actually swap the rotors. This side we can swap to that side to this side. We can swap these front tires to the back tires to the front, to see if it's still pulling. We got to really rule out the tires and the brakes before the wheel bearing, although I still think it's a bad wheel bearing. Alright guys, we swapped the rear tires in the front and it is looking much better. It's barely pulling to the left. I'm really happy about that, and we're gonna give it some beans right here on this open road here. Let's see what we can do. Oh, traction is on, I'm sorry. There we go. That's 60 right there. Man, this thing moves, guys. It has a lot of low-end power. I'm not used to that low-end torque coming from my Civic. But yeah, look. Slight steering wheel to the left pointed, but it's still going straight. It's not even pulling that much. It's just that the steering wheel's a hair to the left, which I'm perfectly fine with, man. I'm really happy that this is how it is. And it's probably one of those tires, those 2013 tires. They're probably bad, but this is looking fantastic. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Another day here. We're going to be doing the finishing touches for the most part, depending on time and management. But right now, I have a OBD2 scanner. We're going to pop this sucker in. This is the Think Car OBD2 scanner. We're going to check if it has any codes that are hidden in the engine management system. Also, we will be installing the rear sway bar bushings and the whole sway bar. I'm adjusting tire pressure so we can get the steering wheel to be straight. Alright, she wants to be on camera. So we're going to put the sway bar in. We're also going to talk about that title. I know I've mentioned it a few times, and I'm glad I came to a conclusion. We got results, so I'll mention that in this video as well. We're going to probably wax the vehicle. You know, we already compounded the top surfaces. Now we got to seal them in and wax them. There's also wax and rubbing compound all over the vehicle. So we got to make sure we take that compound off, because it just looks clearly like it's been buffed or something. And that's not the most appealing thing when you got white waxes and compounds all over the door jambs and whatnot. We'll clean that off, and yeah, almost there, guys. All right, let's get that in. Ignition on. All right, guys, so it looks like, yeah, check engine's light is off. No saved codes in the ECU. 5 codes are ready, 2 codes are not ready for emission purposes. And let's start this up and watch the freeze frame, or let's start this up and watch the live data stream here. You ready? Oh wow, well, oxygen sensors are working great considering the long-term fuel trims are at negative 1.5%, unlike my Honda Civic that's always pigged towards the negative 10%. Let's go back, okay. Short fuel trims, it's subtracting fuel right now because I just started it, it's running rich. Hold on one second, why is vehicle stability on? Why is traction on? That wasn't on before. Whoa, what happened here, man? What the f is going on? What in the world? What the, come on, hop in. Come on. Well, that's a bummer. That's a real big bummer. Let's go back, see what the hell's going on here. Okay, fuel trims are going up a little bit. That's fine. No big issue. Our lambda is good, right at 1.0 at idle. So overall, everything seems good. But I do not have a clue why the vehicle stability control turned on, traction off turned on, and ABS is actually flashing. Sometimes that can be an indicator that your brake fluid is low or something, but I didn't do anything since I drove the car yesterday. So I'm gonna disconnect this OBD2 reader and see if it does anything. Nope, it's still on, and it's flashing ABS. Well, that's great. It seems like people are having this problem with the VSC and ABS flashing as well, and some of them have it starting to flash after they used a scanning tool for codes, and it has to be reset. Some say you have to go to the dealership, it needs to be reset, the 0-point calibration. Well, hell, in this point in time, I'm just gonna remove the battery terminal. Hopefully that resets everything, because sure as hell ain't going to the dealer with this. So let's hope that works. I already put about 40 miles on this thing, 50 miles driving it around town, diagnosing the suspension noises and the steering alignment noises, and I didn't have a check engine light turn on, which is great news. Again, the last owner kind of said that there was a check engine light, so I'm not sure what the miscommunication there was, but I'm glad it's not there, and hopefully we get rid of those after the reboot from the battery. So as far as the title's concerned, this car was being given away to the owner's cousin, and he took this car and he actually signed his name on the printed sign on the title here. So, you know, the title says, do not accept any titles showing any erasures, alternations, or mutilations. So I figured that this title's junk. I need to get a duplicate title. Duplicate title or corrected titles anywhere from $50 to $150 from me looking online. And you know, it's just an extra expense. I got to go back to the owner. They have to request the duplicate title and whatnot. So I called the Secretary of State office and I kind of explained the situation briefly to her, and she said no, you don't need to get a new title, you just need to print this form. It's a 393 form right here, VDS 393, and this is affirmation of correction. And she pretty much said you're going to check mark some of these, which is number 3, purchaser changed his or her mind and did not take possession of the vehicle. I'm also going to have to check mark 4, which is going to replicate the correct date the car is being sold, because the date and signature was signed on the title here. Well, that's great because that saves me at least $100 and 4 to 6 weeks to receive the title, and the new owner can just sign this as well as the title itself. And if you guys change the title, just one line over the previous signature, don't scribble it off, don't white it out, just one line, and this should work. The only thing is, I'm sure some buyers are going to be like, whoa, this is kind of fishy, you know, I'm signing this, I'm signing this. They're going to have to believe the story. I mean, it's an honest mistake, and you know, the Secretary of State said it themselves, this is what you have to do. So hopefully that won't give us a problem.
I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame. Though it might be nice to own a jet plane, I'ma do it all for you. Come along and